So hello and welcome to another episode of Talking Out Loud with me, George Cressy. Thanks for stopping by. It's been pretty busy here at Bankwood Productions over the past few weeks. Just been busy recording season 2. It's been good to get the old mic out again, back on the old road as it were. So yeah, I'm looking forward to releasing that in the next few months. So yeah, exciting times. The road ahead is quite bright. But yeah, this one is still from way back when in December, back in Nepal. And this is actually a collection of recordings that I took with Tibetans out in Nepal. So Nepal actually has a huge Tibetan refugee population. I stumbled across this essentially when I met a really interesting bloke called Mijima. He was just really a crazy friendly Tibetan guy that I met on the hike back from Get Together Cafe back down to Pokhara. So just a chance meeting really, and he said make sure you check out Tashi Palkhiel Refugee Camp on the way back into Pokhara. He said get in touch, talk to someone called Chime, who was his sister. So he said yeah, she'll sort of have a chat with you and talk about Tibet and their situation as refugees and things like that. So I thought, okay, this could be an interesting one. So while I was there, first bumped into a bloke called Sonam when I was asking, obviously, for Chime. This guy said, yeah, I'll chat to you for a little bit. Really interesting guy, 30-something, Tibetan handicraft merchant. So he travels through Nepal and India selling Tibetan handicrafts. And he gave us quite a nice bit of insight into being a Tibetan, being a refugee. And then had a recording with Chime, so Mijima's sister, who was lovely, just a lovely, lovely lady. Gave us some tea and just loads of hospitality. Just a really, really nice chick. We talked about her family, how they came to be in Tashi Palkhiel. And yeah, just as on the difficulties really of life as a refugee. Then chatted to a 60-something fella called Shota. He was a child when he left Tibet in 1959, and now he's a steward at the local monastery. So for that, we really just talked through sort of life as a Tibetan monk. So what kind of education you receive as a child growing up in a monastery, which is really interesting. And then also kind of what they're taught and how the refugee camp was created in the first place. So yeah, it was really nice to chat to him actually. So we kind of covered quite a few topics throughout my time in the refugee camp itself. And then the final part of this is a conversation between myself and a gentleman called Kunga, who was sort of early 20s, and he'd lived in Tibet until he was 18. Then he left there to go to India before going to Nepal for work. We talk about the difficulties getting in and out of Tibet, life in Tibet under Chinese rule, or at least his view on that. So he does have some quite strong reviews, and yeah, it was really interesting actually. And then sort of what the current situation is, and what could be the future for it. And a bit of a word of warning, I guess, for that final recording. I was a little tipsy at the time, so I was taken just on a street in Kathmandu, about halfway through a night out. And I think, as we all agree, some of the best conversations I had while you're a little tipsy. So, hope you enjoy this one. As ever, do reach out, get in touch, any recommendations, anything like that, you know where to hit me up on. So, yeah, enjoy this, and shout out to Tibet. Free Tibet, guys. Free Tibet. Play it. So we're back, and we're in a Tibetan refugee camp at the moment. I'm being joined by a good gentleman who's going to give me some of his time. What's your name, sir?
My name is Sonam.
Sonam.
Yeah.
Excellent. And what's the name of this camp?
Tashi Palkhiel.
Tashi Palkhiel.
Yeah.
Excellent. So the reason I want to do this is I don't know anything about the Tibet issue. You know, I'm very uneducated, so I don't know anything about the issue that happened 50 odd years ago now. And so yeah, I'm just trying to get a bit of information from people like yourself who know a bit more. So how How? So you were born here in Nepal
Yeah,
yourself?
it's camp, Tashi Palkhiel camp.
So your whole life you spent here?
Yeah,
And your parents, they're from Tibet?
yeah, this camp from Tibet. Yeah.
I see. And they left when? When did they leave?
I don't know exactly. We still like in 1959.
Okay. And they came straight away to Nepal?
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
harboured them kind of thing?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. And here in Pokhara there are how many camps? How many different?
Yeah, we have Pokhara, 4 Tibetan Refugee Camp.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. And how many people in total? How many Tibetans will be in Pokhara?
This Tashi Palkhiel is the biggest camp,
Okay.
older camp,
Okay.
and they have a town in Pokhara city. They have 3 camps over there. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So there'll be how many? Maybe 4,000 Tibetans.
No, it's more or less like no more than like 3,000 something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pokhara.
Yeah.
And in Nepal in general, do you know how many are Tibetan by descent? Are there maybe 50,000 Tibetans in Nepal?
No. It's very less. No.
Okay.
No more than 12, 15.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay,
not
12,
15.
15,000.
Yeah. It's more in India.
Dharamshala.
Yeah. Dharamshala, the south.
Is it?
Yeah,
there's
south.
plenty of
Yeah.
Tibetans in the south.
Yeah.
I didn't realise.
South have more there.
Okay. What,
Yeah, in
Kerala?
the-
Around
no,
there?
no. It's then you can start. You can start your forget to you can start. Bankwood.
Okay.
It's the biggest in the world in Tibetan refugee camp.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I
The
didn't
second is
realise.
Ladakh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense because it's close.
Yeah. That's
But-
it's very different. South and very different. Ladakh is a Himalayan region.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Interesting. Is it possible, just for me, just if you could summarise what happened and why Tibetans had to leave Tibet, and it's now part of China, no? Tibet is a region of China now.
This kind of story we don't know the exactly. They know the old men. They grandpa,
okay,
grandma.
the
They know the story actually. We don't know exactly well. No.
Okay.
What's going on before in Tibet?
I see.
Inside, no.
I see.
Yeah, they have lots of politicals. I don't know.
I see.
We don't know exactly. We don't have a lot. These kinds of
okay.
things, you know.
You don't have first-hand experience
Yeah,
of what it was
experience,
like, of course.
Somebody said like this war, somebody said like this. Which is right? We don't know that exactly, no.
I see.
That's
I see.
why,
Yeah, of course. There's always two sides to a
The
story.
old age people, they might know.
They might
kind
know.
of,
That'd be interesting, hey?
Yeah.
That'd be
or
good.
You can check someone else with you and then ask him to
Interpret.
translate, like, you know.
That'd be useful, man. Yeah, we'll try.
You just
that.
go to in Tibetan in office, our Tibetan office. You just go to there and they will contact for you something like guys. If you want help, they will help you. You know.
That'd be useful.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
They want to say that you can go to also in like our office. They will tell you everything. It's easy for you.
Excellent.
If you have a chief,
Okay.
you have different kinds of staff there. They will tell you anything.
Oh, superb.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Okay, I'll check it out. It's just down the road there.
Yeah, just down there, over there.
Excellent.
Like it's
Okay.
2 minutes up down there.
All right, I'll check that out later on.
And they will call that, you know. They
Oh.
will call the young generation. Some people, you know.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they will, you can translate it.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, that's cool. So you've lived here all your life yourself, then? You lived here all your life here in this area?
Yeah.
Nepal?
But I live in like I live in 6 months in Nepal, 6 months in India.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you do? What do you
In
do?
business, I'm doing business.
Excellent. What kind of work?
Tibetan handicraft.
Superb.
Yeah, some selling necklace and bracelet. I'm 6 months in the mountain area and 6 months in India.
Perfect.
Yeah.
The business is going okay?
It's okay. His life is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You making it through?
Yeah.
You get enough to.
We can do our own life.
Yeah, of course,
yeah.
of course. And so, are you making more each year? Your business is getting slowly bigger. Do you
No,
find?
it's nowadays a bit very slow. Before it was very good. No, it's like now it's in Nepal the elections. You know, that's
okay.
also no, lots of political. This all no problem.
Seasonal thing.
Yeah, seasonal thing.
Okay, bro. Excellent. Whereabouts in India?
India very good also. Same like India also they have politicals also sometimes. Sometimes I'm still Ladakh, but in China's make it noisy in Ladakh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So
Yeah,
not
all the
so-
same, all the same.
Not so popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What is she saying? She's waiting for the. She's waiting for guys.
Oh, Chime.
Yeah, Chime waiting for you.
Okay, maybe
She's
I
making
should
a
check.
Tibetan tea.
Oh, she's not. Oh,
Yeah.
bless her. All right, I'll go and see Chime.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, man. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I take a quick photo? Is that all right?
No problem.
It's recording number 2 from the refugee camp, and I'm with the sister of Mijima, who I met in the mountains. Chime.
Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm in your house and I've got a cup of Tibetan tea.
Yeah.
This is excellent. So yeah, already I feel it's superb. So already I feel very at home. So yeah, the plan is ready. So now we just I'll just ask you questions, really, and then if you could just answer them, that'd be sweet. That's as easy as that, really, I guess. So I was chatting to Sonam in the restaurant just now.
Restaurant, yeah.
Yeah, and he was an interesting guy.
Yeah, here also.
Yeah. So you've lived here all your life as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. But
Yeah.
we are still refugee. All for Tibetan camp, for all people is refugee.
I see.
We make business. That's okay.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
So
Not so bad.
You're getting by. Could you explain a little bit about what it is to be a refugee? So I spoke to a gentleman back there who lives in Canada now, I think. But he said he had some difficulty getting out to Canada because you don't have a passport if you're a refugee. Is that correct?
We need passport and Nepali citizenship.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
But
difficult.
we didn't have the Nepali citizenships and then the not passport, so that's why we very difficult to go to in the other country.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Western countries.
So obviously you were born here in Nepal yourself.
Yeah.
But you don't have a Nepalese passport.
Yeah, not Nepalese passport.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous, no?
Yeah.
So you're born and you have Tibetan parents here in Nepal, but
Yeah.
you're born in Nepal.
Yeah.
It's still you only have a travel document,
Yeah.
is it?
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Only in Nepal maybe. Otherwise, the other countries they born in the country, but they give already for citizenship.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
India, if you're a Tibetan in India
Yeah, in
and you're
India
born,
also.
would you get a passport, an Indian
Yeah.
passport? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So only in Nepal is that the case?
Yeah, only in Nepal.
Interesting. That makes things difficult, I guess.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to live and to work. The young people still go to school and high school, and then people's going to college, and then they finished it all the study, then they didn't get the job. Yeah, so difficult. So that's why.
Absolutely, yeah. So have you found that yourself in your own experience then? So when you were growing up, it must have been difficult, I guess.
Yeah.
So you got to a stage when you're, 18, 20, and you're starting to look for jobs, so you're starting to think, I can get out there, and it's a little harder.
Nima's wife.
Oh yes, Pinky, of course, yeah. No, we met. No, Pinky, yeah. She got me momos.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for that, by the way. Dandivat for the
Yeah.
momos. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So your parents, they came from Tibet then. So
My parents came from Tibet in 1959,
okay.
many years before
Mhm.
when Dalai Lama come for that time.
I see.
So it's 1959, maybe a maximum 50 years ago,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
And then
Uh,
we stay here in India, in Nepal, all the refugee camp, in
I see.
Kathmandu also,
Yeah.
many refugee peoples.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
For your parents in particular, they came straight here to the camp here, and
Yeah.
they've been here ever since.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we are born in Nepal. We are all born in Nepal.
Uh-huh.
Then so we didn't have the Nepali citizenship.
I see. Which
Yeah.
is the crazy part.
Yeah,
I
this is
think.
very difficult, you know.
Immensely difficult, I can imagine.
Yeah,
So have you managed to travel outside of Nepal yourself?
Just we're going to in India.
Okay.
Then in the border,
Uh-huh.
they need passport and some things.
Yeah.
We don't have passport and something not like this, and then we give the money.
Thank you. Okay, that's interesting. So if you wanted to go to India, you just give them your travel document,
Yeah.
and then you have to pay more money?
They need citizenship, Nepali.
Oh God.
So we didn't have Nepali citizenship, then they need money.
Got you. So how much would you pay normally to get into India if you're a Tibetan?
Sometimes we pay some 500 minimum, 500 for one people.
Oof, rupees?
Rupees, yeah.
Okay.
Nepali rupees and Indian rupees also.
Okay.
and then that is not possible. Then they want to 2,000, 4,000, something like
Okay,
this.
it depends.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's very difficult.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Okay, okay. So, do you know? Could you explain a little bit about, in your view, what happened when China started to move into Tibet, and then obviously everyone had to flee? Could you educate me a little bit about what happened there?
That time I'm very small. I was born in here,
Of
but
course.
I don't know the.
From what your parents said, maybe.
Yeah,
From what?
sometimes my parents tell me like this. Something I can't remember.
Okay, yeah, no
Yeah.
problem. That's exactly what
Yeah.
Sonam said. Sonam said
Yeah.
you're better off talking to the older people, you know, and they'll
Yeah,
be
the
able
old
to tell you.
peoples, yeah.
Yeah,
Old
that's
peoples
fine.
know.
Yeah, no, I will. I'll try and find a translator
Yeah,
who can
yeah.
who can sort of educate me a little bit
Right.
more. That's fine then. Okay, so then after that happens and Tibet no longer becomes Tibet and it's part of China now, everyone, all the refugees flee to different parts. Generally, India, Nepal. Is that fair to say? That's where the biggest concentrations of Tibetans are.
Yeah.
Did they go anywhere else? Did they go into Myanmar or anywhere like that, or is it?
Maybe only in here, in Nepal and India and Kathmandu.
Okay.
Yeah, maximum in Kathmandu.
Already, that's as far as
Right, yeah.
you'll see Tibetans. It feels that way.
Yeah.
It feels that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Tibetan culture seems to be around that,
Right.
the hemisphere of
Yeah.
what used to be Tibet. Fascinating. And so your family came here and they started to trade. What did they do when they arrived in Nepal?
Here is a very difficult life that time. Yeah, where they have no house and nothing to stone the making the house. Nothing there.
Wow.
So they are going to in the river. Everybody carried for the stone things, and then so everything then make small the grass house. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just something
Yeah,
shelter.
something like this. I see before some photos.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
excellent.
that's why I tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still have the photos in the house?
No, not here.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, some people before many years ago I see some people still looking for the laptop.
Okay.
There is some things.
Okay.
I see also there.
Okay, good.
That time is very difficult
I can
for
imagine.
the refugee people. It's very difficult.
I see. So they
Yeah.
survived. They got through those
Yeah.
first few years, I
Yeah.
guess. And then they started. What was the first kind of way of making money for your parents?
Oh yeah.
Did
yeah.
they?
Not
Yes.
education, and then not school. They are very So that time is very difficult.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But now is all the peoples, the refugee peoples. We didn't have Nepal citizenship, then we can't do anything. So that's why we are very difficult. The young people didn't get the job.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So it's a spiral basically. You're
Yeah.
stuck in a.
Yeah, because of passport and
Ridiculous.
Nepali citizenship, so that's why.
Utterly ridiculous. Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. Like, oh, it's madness. I mean, there's. I have a friend in England. English, all his family are English, so you get an English citizenship. You know, you get a British
Yeah.
passport, fine. But he
Yeah.
was born in Australia. He was
No.
born in Australia. He lived there for a month. You know, and he
Yeah.
got an Australian passport as well because he was born there. You know.
But now refugee peoples, they stay here to eat and to clothes, to buying everything. We're selling some handicraft, the bracelet and necklace,
Yeah.
handmade. We're selling these things, and Western people's very good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
very good for tourist peoples. I mean.
Excellent.
The tourist peoples very they give business
Mhm.
for Tibetan peoples,
Yeah.
the refugee peoples,
Excellent.
especially for refugee peoples. The business doing the Western peoples very good,
Good. Good.
and
Good.
then we eat.
Wow.
We manage for this money.
Yeah, I see.
Otherwise, we didn't have a job.
Wow.
Yeah.
So tourism is
Yeah,
is a lifeline for
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
in a way.
Tourism is very good because they are give some buying some bracelet and some necklace.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
beautiful stuff here.
Yeah, they are the Western people is very kind.
That's
They
good
are
to
very
see.
kind. Yeah.
That's good to see.
We said
Yeah.
refugee people, and they are buying to everything.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All the country, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
They are not coming here, then we are no income.
Really?
Yeah.
It would be a massive
We
struggle.
can't eat, we can't,
Christ.
nothing.
Wow.
Very
Yeah.
difficult.
So tourism's
Yeah,
key.
that's very,
Wow. That's interesting to know.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
yeah.
And so how did your parents survive in those early years then? If they obviously weren't Nepali, and it must have been, I mean, like you said, very difficult. Did they start a handicraft business themselves? Was that the first way they started to make income and to start establishing obviously a family? It's
Yeah. The family was all making for the bracelet and necklace,
Gotcha.
something like wool things for making like this.
Yeah.
And we all family.
Okay.
The season time we selling like these things. Then off season, the season we were off. Then we will come back in Pokhara and come home.
Okay.
Then we make some.
So off season you'd
Jelly
make the
things.
material,
Yeah.
you'd make the product.
Yeah, and then we go into season time. Then we
Sell.
going to sell.
Sell.
Yeah, you see them in 130.
Yes.
Yeah, shop, small shop.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
gorgeous stuff though. Really nice stuff
Yeah.
in there. So okay. And so that was just what happened every year. That was the way you lived and got by. Fascinating. Thank you. Okay, and then that brings us to, I guess, slowly to this point now.
Yeah.
And like you were explaining, yeah, it's just difficult. It just seems ridiculous.
Yeah.
The whole passport situation.
Yeah.
What's the future hold in your mind? Is the passport situation going to be resolved? Is the Nepali government looking into that, or
No, I think not.
no?
It's very difficult.
It's just
Yeah.
status quo at the minute.
Yeah, I'm very old, 30 years old. I can't. I don't have. I have 3 children, 3 daughters.
I see.
They have not,
Yeah, passport.
and my brother not passport all.
Madness.
So, yeah.
So you're in Nepal now. This is
yeah.
where you are, which
So-
is utterly ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, thank you, Chime, because this is great for me
Yeah,
to hear.
okay.
You know.
Yeah.
So my plan now is, like I say, in a few months, I put something together with your recording and from Sonam as well, and anyone else I meet this afternoon. And we do a little free Tibet podcast, you know, free Tibetans in Nepal, you know, get them a passport podcast, and we'll see if we can get something together.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, thank you, Chime, and thank you for the tea.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
I really appreciate it. We'll stop it there. So recording number 3. I'm here with a gentleman in the monastery. Say again, sorry.
Jangchuk Choling Monastery.
Thank you, sir. What was your name, sorry?
My name is Shota.
Shota.
Yeah.
I'm George. Nice to meet you, Shota. So yeah, I was just in there. It's a beautiful monastery, really gorgeous temple. How many monks are there here?
Here we have 160 monks.
I see. And then are they all? How old are they? What's the age range?
Their age, the small is 8,
Okay.
and the bigger is 37, 45, something.
I see. And there's no one older than 45? Older than
45, 50, 60.
Okay. So all age ranges are within the monastery? Excellent. So I'm from England. We don't have many Buddhist monasteries in England. So can you tell us a little bit about how to become a monk and what a life as a monk is?
I see. We here, our monks, our monastery community, the monks' rule is become 12 years old.
I see.
Just now here we have many young, small ones.
Yeah, you do.
I told you 8, 10, something like this.
Okay.
Those are the problem inside families. There is some is there many childs, they cannot give education for the child.
I see.
Some is there is no father, so mother cannot
Raise.
cannot give supporting for child full.
I see.
So this is problem. So we took here, and when they stay in monastery, there's everything giving from this monastery free.
I see.
Nothing to pay here.
So the children can be fed and educated
Yeah,
for free.
education, and everything from this.
Fantastic,
monastery.
fantastic. And so the education side,
Yeah.
is it a normal 9 to 5 school day, Monday to Friday, or how does school work
No,
here?
no, no. This is like the school rules.
Okay, okay.
Because those are very young.
Mm.
So they need freedom and they need the holiday, everything.
I see, I see.
So
Yeah.
we have here, Sunday we have holiday.
Okay,
Sunday.
I see.
Saturday we have half holiday.
Okay,
The Sunday we have full holiday. The child can go outside, go around. Otherwise they stay inside here.
okay. Inside the monastery.
Not allowed to go out because these are very small. No one cares, you know.
Yeah, of course.
It's
Yeah,
Tibetan, yeah.
definitely. And so what will they learn in the education here? They learn
Yeah, they're
science and
learning,
English and...
mostly Tibetan.
Okay,
There's Tibetan there's many subjects.
superb.
And the second is English.
Okay,
Third is a little. Third is Nepali.
that's it. Oh, really? So it'd be Tibetan first, English second, and...
Yeah. First is Tibetan.
Excellent.
Second
Good.
is English. Third is Nepali.
Fantastic.
Because Nepali we stay here, and we know little bit Nepali language and reading.
Yeah, I see.
This
I
is
see.
important for the child.
Fascinating. And they'll also, will they learn sciences as well? So physics
No,
and...
we don't have the
Teachers.
And we don't have that science. We have it's like science for the Tibetan physical.
Ah, interesting.
Not it's like science.
Okay, okay.
Not geography. Not Google. Every we learning Tibetan.
Heritage,
There's
culture,
many
history.
books. So when the monks become 37, 40 years age, they're going to school, learning.
Hmm.
Then in Tibetan we have many books about geography, science.
I
Every
see.
coming there.
Ah, so you learn the culture, you learn
Yeah,
tradition,
yeah.
and then you can go outside and read everything.
Then you have to go there. We have many books. You read, you put your mind, you go inside, then you know many things.
Excellent. That's fantastic. Okay. And so the children will meditate as well? They will learn to
Meditation.
meditate, the children?
Meditate, not small ones, old, bigger, become the 30 something.
Okay. 13, 14, they'll start to learn.
30 or 35, 40, what the monk they like,
Okay. Okay. Oh, excellent.
meditation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's an interesting subject. If you don't mind, can we speak about Tibet? Can we speak about Tibet? Is that okay? So, old Tibet. You were there when it was Tibet. Were you alive when it was Tibet? Did you flee? Were you a refugee from Tibet when in 1959? Is that fair to say? Okay.
Yeah.
And you remember you were a child at the time?
Yeah, I'm child. I no remember. No
Okay.
More, no more.
Yeah, I see.
Young.
Yeah, too young to remember that. Okay, fair enough. Wow.
Yeah, we left Tibet in 1959.
I see.
So we came here in 1962.
Okay.
This
Okay.
camp built by Swiss government.
Swiss government.
Swiss
Oh,
government.
fascinating.
Swiss government build here one for people house.
Of course, yeah,
Their
refugees.
parents for family, family.
Yeah, I see,
They
I
make
see.
build house, and the Swiss government they give food, clothes, everything free for
Excellent.
3 years.
For 3 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
then 3 years, then Swiss government stop their things.
I see.
Yeah,
I see.
Then we do on ourselves.
Right. And then would
That
you?
time where we don't know any Nepali language, we know. So there will be a problem. After 3 years, we know little bit Nepali language,
Mhm.
and we know little bit where we going. We know the ways, everything little bit.
I see.
Then Swiss government stop give everything free. Stop.
The aid. Yeah. I see.
Then
I see.
we do on ourselves.
How was that? How was that transition?
Transaction is
Difficult?
Difficult, yeah. First time difficult. Just now is, some people is difficult. But Not every people.
Yeah, I
Some
see.
is different.
I see. And
In
is
here we don't have land, we have nothing, we have only the make one small things, business you have seen in that
Yeah,
side.
I've seen it in
Many-
the town. Yeah, there's loads of
Oh,
handicrafts.
say they buy. That one's
Yeah.
our, how to say, for, there is a refugee whose people, those are for one of it's like walk or how to say, something like this.
Yeah, I know.
Because
Yeah.
we don't have field land here. If you have land here, then we make anything to make vegetable.
Yeah, I see.
Anything. There's no more land.
There's no more land to do that.
Only this one.
No way.
Yeah.
So there's only enough land here that you own,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
that the refugee
Yeah,
camp.
is there big land? In
Wow.
Indian government, they give big land for refugee.
Mm.
Not in city side. It's Bangalore, Madras. There's many.
Yeah. Sonam was saying, another gentleman here.
In here, Nepal, there's small country.
Mm.
And there's no big land,
There's no.
So these are all what we stay here. This all the government land. Other side, everything's on the people.
I see. I see.
This is the people.
That's very difficult.
Yeah,
Because I was speaking as well a long time about passports
yeah.
and the fact that Tibetan refugees have no passport. You only have
Yeah,
a.
we have passport. We have passport for 1 year. We have like renew.
Okay, I see.
We have
Sorry, if you need to, if you want to make some sales, feel free. If you need to talk to these guys and bring them in, you're more than welcome to. But yeah. Okay, so once you have a 1 year passport, which you get renewed.
Yeah, we have
That's-
one refugee card.
Okay.
That we have to make to renew for 1 year.
Okay. Still, it's more difficult than it should be, you know. If you're born in Nepal, you should be a Nepali, you know.
Yeah, Nepali people is okay. Very
Yeah,
nice.
no, they're lovely people.
Lovely.
I think the government just needs to change a couple of
Yeah,
policies.
government sometimes going to change,
Yeah. No, I find that in every country I've been
That
to.
is everywhere, country, everywhere make election,
Agreed.
changing government,
Agreed.
changing party. For Nepal, Kure, oi, lama. Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Where are you from?
England, mama.
England.
Yeah, yourself? Where are you from?
I'm from Tibet.
Tibet. Excellent, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You know where is it? Eh?
Do you mind? So I'm recording this conversation. I'm recording.
Thanks.
No, please come. And I'm just meeting people like yourself, Sunita, and yourself,
Yeah.
talking to them about their world and where they're living and how they feel about it. You know. So you're from Tibet.
Yes, I'm from Tibet.
Excellent. And you grew up here in Kathmandu.
Yeah.
You lived here all your life.
I live in India actually. I have a refugee in India.
Dharamshala?
Before, Dharamshala, Meglo.
Excellent.
I have-
Malganj.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Malganj.
I was there maybe 2 months ago.
Yeah. I have studied in the TCV school in the Suja. It's like a beer.
Okay.
But when I 18 years old, I have came from Tibet. That's before I have studied in China. I don't can speak very perfect English because in Tibet, when I stay in Tibet, most school I have learned from Chinese language.
Of course. It's
That's
a Chinese
why-
province now.
Yeah,
Chinese.
situation you know about this, yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
But we're staying. I came from it when I was 18 years old. I came from Tibet. I have stayed in India 7 years ago. I have studied in the Chisui school, Suja. It's like Tibetan government school.
Wow.
We have government in India.
Awesome.
Yeah. I have came here just like maybe 4 months ago because my father and my family was staying in Tibet. That's why they was they need me. They have called me to come back to Tibet. Because I don't. I just I have been to the Tibet one more time. When I arrived to airport, they have many they have many Chinese policemen. They have they have security. They have like like take me to the jail. I have stayed in jail 1 month ago. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's
So it's very dangerous for Tibetans to go back to Tibet.
it's very dangerous.
Wow.
No, it's not like if you want to come out of the country, out of the country, it's very difficult to come out of the country.
I see.
If
To
you
go
want
back
to go
in.
back, it's also difficult.
Of course.
More than difficult.
Of course, man.
Yeah.
Because you've seen things, you've spoken openly to Westerners.
Very big situation in the Tibet. It's just like in China. When did you go to China? You very easily can go to China, because in China they don't have any problems. That's why. But in Tibet the situation is very tight.
Of course.
Nobody can go to the Tibet. That's why. In Tibet, when did you go to Tibet? How do you when you meet anybody? They don't can speak English.
Yeah.
Yeah, very difficult to go back, because right now they in Nepal, anywhere in the US, anywhere they have many Tibetan people. They can't go back to Tibet because they have to do any about Tibet freedom.
Yes.
They have to do like something like this in the
course.
Tibet. That's why they have came to the India just for refuge. But then after they won't go back to Tibet. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
But just like me, what's problem for me? I didn't have to do any about freedom, because during this time, I have stayed in Lhasa. I have studied there, but we can't do it. If you do like this, no.
Sorry.
If you do like it, then you will go to the jail. They will shoot you.
Wow.
From gun shoot you, then you will die like this.
Whoa.
So very dangerous in Tibet.
Which is ridiculous, which is mental.
It's like very dangerous. You just kill people. It's nothing. It's
So
nothing.
you've lost humanity, you don't
Yeah,
understand humanity.
but if you do like about 政治, I don't know, situation. If you do about freedom, about like a country freedom, it's very dangerous.
Of course.
That's why.
Yeah. Well, this is interesting.
Nobody
So-
can.
So obviously you're involved in the Free Tibet campaign,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
Tibetan, so obviously you want your country back.
Yeah.
So if you could say one thing, so I'll put this on the internet, I'll put this recording
Yeah.
on the internet so people can hear your story.
Yeah.
If you could say one thing to China, what would you say as a Tibetan?
In China, I think what is a mistake about China and Tibet? Why China was attack to Tibet like 1959. They have attacked to Tibet, but during this time we have in Tibet they have very poor situation, because they have rich and poor people. And rich people they have every time just like you do like it, just wear every time like beat them.
Yeah.
Then when Chinese government they have come into Tibet, this is solution. This is become too good.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So they felt they were doing it for the right reasons when
Yeah.
they invaded, to bring you guys out of poverty and into the real world.
Bye, bye,
But they had the wrong mindset.
But when they have Mao Zedong, Mao.
Mao, General
Yeah.
Mao, yes.
Mao, he have one. I don't know. He have they have China say like a 文化大革命. It's very dangerous time. That time is very dangerous time.
Yes.
They have killing to Tibetan people. Then when I finish to attack to Tibet, when they have stay in Tibet, they have killing to monk, they have killing to peoples. They Tibetan they
General
during this
Mao,
time. Oh, General Mao, they have
He was
speak
what we
with
call a psychopath. You know?
Yeah.
And when the psychopath leads a country,
oh.
he can persuade people. You know, like we
Yeah,
saw. Right?
yeah,
You know, I know.
Yeah,
It's
no.
a universal truth.
But
That's fascinating.
Mao, he have asked Dalai Lama, what did he tell? You know, he said, why did you, believe to, believe to your goal?
Take away Tibet.
Goal is just like, when did people drink something, then we died. What did he say like this? What mean like?
Poison.
Poison. Goal, religion just like poison. The way finish your life during this time, Mao just tell from Dalai Lama. Dalai Lama is very, angry. Then and we have one root or very root Guruji. He is the, Panchen Lama.
Okay.
Panchen Lama, he have stay in the, this there during this time. That time, many Chinese people has, they have one, Pido Hui. In China, say like Pido Hui. They have say, many people like say Panchen Rinpoche like from this say like this. During this time, very dangerous situation. But
Very dangerous.
one time they have coming is good. One time is not good. From myself, I think like this.
Okay.
But from oneself, he was attacked to Tibet. He have, 解放. He have free to the, poor people. He have give to rich and poor, give to like same person in Tibet. Right now it's just like same. But that's before. It's very dangerous. It's very true history. You can go anywhere. Just during this time we have one. We in Tibet they have one. Gomba. It's like a Tibet. Gomba, we have one monk to stay in the house
Like a lead monk, like a
monk.
lead.
This Gomba in the capital of the Tibet.
Okay.
In the down of the they have one jail. It's like a very historic jail. It's very old jail. When people that's before Chinese is not attacked to Tibet. That's before we have like a Kunga. We Tibetans say like Kunga. Kunga, when you do like a very very bad thing, very like when you do to not respect to the something Didu. They will give to go to the jail. Then they will they will give to very hot. We make two food coals, very hot coals. Then people's like here, then drop to ice, and they will people is like this. Then this they will
Paint their whole body with charcoal.
this truth.
Fascinating.
Right now that's just in the
That's happening still.
Oh.
Fascinating. That's a good thing,
Yeah.
We need to keep these rituals and these ways to keep spiritual alive. But having said that,
No.
what was your wider point? You were on. We were talking about. Okay, and you had a story about this Baduji.
Yes.
You stood up to the Chinese. What happened? What was the story? Do you remember?
Story, I think when they attack to Tibet after they have killing the many peoples in Tibet. When second world fighting during this time, China and Japan they have very in the Nanjing they have fighting and Japan people killing the many Chinese people. That time. Then after where that time is coming, 文化大革命, where that time is world second after, where time is coming. Then they killed the many Tibetan people and and they are dying this time. Not only Tibetan people, Mongolia people and the Tibet. They have Chinese Muslim. It's like Muslim. They have killing the Tibetan
It was a
people.
genocide essentially. They tried to purify the gene line essentially. It's ridiculous. But having said this, So your message to the Chinese government, to go back to the earlier point, what if you had one thing to say to the president of China right now? What would you say?
President, how China President, I think Xi Jinping, Hu Jintao. It's like right now is Xi Jinping. That's before is Hu Jintao. That's before is Deng Xiaoping.
Okay.
Deng Xiaoping, he have to change the China. That's when Deng Xiaoping before. China is like poor, very very poor. But when Deng Xiaoping is coming, they have to change the China. Then after Hu Jintao, he have to make very many,
to build the structure.
Make this system, not good system. Then Tibetan people and China people is like this.
Excellent.
And they after Xi Jinping is coming.
This is now.
This is now.
Current president. Okay.
Xi Jinping is coming. Xi Jinping, they just do line with Tibetan people. Right now they have stay in Tibet. They have make to some like a house. They say, oh, Tibetan people, you come into the house. Don't be stay in the tent. Don't be stay in the grass line.
Starting to reconcile a little bit.
But we Tibetan never to accept that.
Excellent.
We have to nurture it.
Of course.
We need to nurture it.
Yeah, go fuck you. I want my country back.
Yeah,
a little
that's
bit,
right. That's
exactly.
right.
It's so true. It's very nice to go. Oh, China's nice. We're going to be nice to you now. You're like, fuck you. Actually, we were Tibet before.
Yeah.
We'll be Tibet again. We'll wait. Well, thank you, brother.
So kind people.
They're amazing. I interviewed. I went to the Tibetan Refugee Camp in Pokhara 2 days ago, and I did a series of interviews with those guys about Tibet.
But here in Tibet, I just from myself, I want to tell him from my heart. I want to tell him from my heart. I think in India they have some Tibetan peoples.
Yep.
And they have VS with in the Tibetan peoples, in the Tibetan inside people. I think more than inside Tibetan people is good. If you have you have free time, then you can go there.
I must go.
Oh my God!
I can't wait.
Very very nice.
I will go to Tibet for sure.
Very.
I hear this, man. I will go. Absolutely, brother. What was your name again, sorry?
Kunga.
Kunga. I'm George. Nice to meet you, Kunga.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
Bankwood Bear Productions.
Cheap and chill.